Yes, yes, here they are. The Hyperdunk 2018s. Quite possibly the best Hyperdunks currently. I must say so myself. You guys heard me talking about it. You know about it in the previous unboxings and put out there recently, talking about how people are talking about the performance on the shoes. This is my performance review, but I haven't really seen performance out of these cats talking about performance reviews. So if you want to talk about performance reviews, you got to actually showcase the fact that you have actual performance skills and abilities on court. One of the things that I want to make sure that I point out is A, don't walk in the court, A, with flip-flops and have your shoes in a book bag, because I'm going to come at you even harder. B, don't come out on the court with your shoes untied and loose like this and think that I'm going to let you off the hook and not try to destroy you defensively, especially make you come and slip out of your shoes offensively when I hit you with that cross. Well, the first thing I would suggest in terms of performance, if you want to optimize performance in these particular model of basketball shoes, is tie your shoestrings. Number one, from the bottom, you want to bring them up to the top. Gradually, not too tight. You don't want to make your instep, the top of your foot here, fall and your arc fall. You just want to make sure you have a fit, okay? Not a tight fit, but a fit. When you start to get tight, it starts to be right around the ankle area. And at the top, some of you guys love stopping your lacelet right here. I'm going all the way up to the top. I will adjust my tongue. The tongue, I know it's a one-to-one fit and you guys like wearing them loose, but the tongue is gonna pull this fabric, because this is actually a mesh material here with a synthetic in the front, upward, thereby making the fit more snug and fit. This shoe, I went true to size, perfect fit, tie that up. Got a nice wide bottom for my feet, so if you're a wide footer, for sure you can go true to size. I never considered myself a wide footer, but I noticed that when I tried the Kobe 360s that I was a little wide in the foot for that particular shoe. And this shoe, perfect width. The bottom, you got a nice fat air sole, so it gives you a really nice ride. Correct? For actual performance. Correct if you want to swag outside. Not for performance. Tie them up from the bottom. Lace. 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 Working my way up. Making sure I don't miss any. Lace. And then finally lace on top. For those of you who don't know how to make bows yet, still using lace locks, that's how you do it. Boom. Ready for performance. Fit around the foot, fit around the toes, fit around the arc of the foot and the top of the instep, fit around the ankle, which then pulls you back into our heel counter right there. Now, you can go out there and play some ball. So here we have them yet again. Hyperdunk 2018, Hyperdunk X. You'll see that we put these through a couple of wars. Definitely got my W's in these. It's a mesh material, soft on the top, not restricting, doesn't hurt, not too tight, doesn't take a lot of break-in time. See a little bit of a synthetic here. Typically we see synthetics that go all the way out to the toe. That's not the case with this model, so it's actually very comfortable around the toe as well. So you don't have really tightly glued down toe area in this toe box section, nor do you have a very flimsy kind of a toe box section where these kind of synthetics start to crack and deteriorate and make the shoe actually look even more worn out than it actually is. With this mesh material, I have set a significant amount of miles on it, and I can say for a fact that this actually still looks very good. See some creasing right here with my side of the shoe, but with the shoe on, with the same amount of miles on it, as you can see, it doesn't look creased because my foot is actually in it, thereby stretching the material. As I mentioned, when I pull the tongue upward, elasticity, which is in this kind of fabric material, that mesh material that we have on top. You'll see also that this is connected onto the base and to the front part of the toe, so when you do pull the toe up, not only does it secure the shoestrings, but it also pulls the forefoot toe box towards the base of the toes and onto the instep more firmly, so that when you tie it up, we have a secure fit, thereby keeping this portion of your foot pushed directly in this 45-degree angle into our heel counter. One thing that I did enjoy about this shoe is that it did make me want to run and gun, so kind of play a fast pace of game. I didn't want to stop, slow down the ball, and make a lot of plays I actually wanted to run. I believe it was because of this zoom, the fact that the shoe is actually not bad as far as weight goes. It's actually pretty light in consideration that it's a full high top with this air bubble here, these zoom units. I thought that that was actually going to be slightly cumbersome, especially with this midsole here. But the fact that this midsole is foam, and as you get down here, this is hollowed out so that you have space for these zoom units. This is also hollowed out here, as you can see. It doesn't carry a lot of weight. So I have to say that although there's no actual, some shoes, they have a slight curve at the edge. So you'll notice it seems as if they're slightly upward already, even when you don't put them on. These seem to be pretty straight forward. So I felt as if I was gonna get more of a forward, small forward type of play out of it. I was able to get a effective play style as a shooting guard with it as well. Enjoy that. Based on the fact that these zoom units are inside the soles here, I believe I was able to get a lot of reaction and propel from these units here in the front and the rear, based on the fact that when I run, I'm going heel to toe. It actually assisted me in my sprint across court, if I must say so myself. So I found that this setup with the midsole, little small outrigger right there, doesn't really bother. I didn't find it to be a necessary tool because the shoe itself is pretty wide. I didn't ever feel as if I was gonna roll over on the side, especially with the fact that we got this fabric wrapping around here on the ankle, even though we have a lower back end here near the counter, so that this portion doesn't actually rub against your Achilles and doesn't give you a lot of friction. So that's a good thing. No chafing on the Achilles as far as my ergonomics are concerned. When I was on slightly dusty courts, because if I'm honest, I must admit I was on slightly dusty courts a majority of the time, I found that this traction was pretty effective. I wouldn't give it a 10. I would still give you in the 8.5 range because of the fact that perhaps maybe since these are hollowed out, we're not getting the effective traction that you would typically get on a shoe that has a full kind of a herringbone pattern. But this particular material, as far as the rubber goes, I think you might be able to hear it. It's a really good pliable rubber, so it definitely gets you some bite on a really clean court. On those dusty courts, as I mentioned, I was playing primarily on, I was able to get a good sprint on it. I could stop and go, but didn't get that same bite that it got when I was on those nice, clean, pristine courts. Although I was able to get some good performance out of these. So if I'm honest, I have to say that I'm typically the type of person, and if you watch a lot of my shoe reviews, they are for signature shoes. Typically Jordans, Kobe's, I've done even KD's. So I'll use a signature shoe that's designed for a specific athlete because I feel like the best tech is put into those particular shoes. I don't usually use a team shoe, meaning something that, you know, the different colorways reflect different teams, such as college teams, high school teams, etc., or NBA teams for that matter. I like to do signature shoes, but I feel as if the Hyperdunk X, they did a really good job as far as culminating all of the past knowledge and the different basketball shoes that they had, as well as in this particular line, the Hyperdunk line, putting it all together with the lacing system. For me, I found that that was very comfortable. In fact, because again, I was wearing the Kobe 360s and I found that my foot apparently was too wide for that model, because when I got to the top of the lacing system, I was running out of real estate. I could barely make a bow out of it. So thank you to Nike for giving me enough shoestring on this model to actually get a good secure fit and take advantage of the performance that it had to offer. The top being nice and comfortable, not too heavy, I was able to get really good runs in this, and I could sprint across court, and I never really felt as if I was getting fatigue because I was getting nice bounce back from our zoom units here. Not only in terms of absorption when I'm landing down on the shoe into the hardwood, but also propelling, meaning being able to give me distribution, bounce back, reaction when I hit the ground and I propelled myself forward to run on those full court basketball games that I was playing. So I definitely suggest this model. As someone who wears signature model shoes, wouldn't be my top choice, but I have to say, as far as reactions go, I've got nothing but positive. As far as the colorway goes, I've got nothing but positive as far as what the style is, because in reality, going onto the basketball court and playing with the elite hoopers, the ones who wear their shoes loose and don't tie them during basketball games and act like they're not really playing when they're getting destroyed. As far as I'm concerned, they like me, would usually wear a signature shoe. They like their Kobe's, they like their KD's, they like their Kyrie Irvings in particular, Bronze, shoes like that. I came out with these, nobody was really wearing them. And they actually look pretty slick. And I got nothing but good reactions out of them as far as the reaction aspect goes, meaning, wow, those are cool, what are they? Or, whoa, how much are these? Or, I like that colorway. I got a lot of positive reactions about these shoes on court. So that's another cool thing, just in case that matters to you, to get that validated as far as the style of it goes, especially when you're wearing a shoe that not only has a style, but actually has the function of being able to play basketball court the way that you expect it to perform. So you heard a lot about my performance. Let's take a look at the actual performance.